Good evening. Just bear with me a few moments. Hopefully you can hear exactly what I'm saying. My audio is coming through, just getting set up. So give me a few moments. I don't see any messages coming through, which is always a fun one for this. So let's have a look at what's going on. Welcome to this evening's stream, by the way. I don't have really too much to talk about at this point, but yeah, let's see where we go with this. It's generally what happens with these streams. We don't have too much, but then you guys tend to keep it a lot more interactive. Sorry, I am ever so slightly sidetracked at the moment. I'm making sure this is working as I expect it to be. And good, you can hear me loud and clear, which is good, but you're not seeing any messages pop up, which is not what we want. Let me have a look. Let me see what is going on here. So let's stop these. And let's connect. And let's connect. Does someone want to try and send another message? Let's see if something goes through. Testing. Oh, there we go. I think we have a message. So yeah, that seems to be doing the job. So I guess we can probably start the stream then. So if anybody missed some of those, yeah, so AS networking, I guess you can see some of the other messages because you can see them on the standard YouTube chat pop-up, but because I go across multiple platforms, it tends to not show up on my software. So if I was to show you what you could see, then yeah, you would see something completely different to what I see. Still see all the messages, which is good, but yeah, it's not necessarily the same. So I'll show you probably a little bit later in the stream as to what you can and can't see. So I'm just going to jump into this first message first. So is it worth getting U7 Pro? Currently have AP Pros, which are like Wi-Fi 5. So up until recently, I was actually running the AC Pros myself, or a AC Pro. I had a U6LR and an AC Pro. So I've been running them for definitely the AC Pro. I've been running for the best part of about 5 years, I think, if not probably longer. Definitely since I've started this YouTube channel. So it's been a little while since I've running those AC Pros, and I've only just changed them. Now, the question always comes is, should you change them? What should you do? Should you replace with Wi-Fi 7? It depends on what you're getting out of your access point. So you're getting the coverage and you're getting the speed out of it that you need. But I understand also the Ubiquiti side of things of wanting to... I understand the Ubiquiti side of things of wanting the latest and greatest. I'm exactly the same. Always want the latest and greatest. So if you think you're going to get the most out of Wi-Fi 7, then the U7 Pros are definitely a jump up. So I would definitely consider that. Whether you go with the U7 Pro or the U7 Pro XG, now that's another different question that you probably want to have a think about. The U7 Pro is definitely one of them anyway. I am streaming to another platform at the moment, so you might see some messages that might not be in the standard chat that you're seeing. I'm not mentioning any platform names because I'm not sure. I've heard that some of them tend to not shadow ban, but yeah, they tend to not like it very much. But there are 21 of you already here this evening, and there's only 4 likes, so please do hit the like button if you haven't already. I did mention right at the start, I don't have too much lined up for this evening, but yeah, I don't have too much lined up for this evening, but you guys generally have in the past kept it going for the full hour, which I'm happy to do. So let's start going. Let's have a little look. Let me pull up my screen on this side so I know what I'm showing you. Right. Let's go to my channel. So We haven't released anything new this week. I have been working on a few videos in the background. So let's have a look. If you've missed some of my latest videos already, I will come to the comments in just a few moments, but I'm going to quickly show you some of the stuff that I have released this week. It's been getting a bit more quiet at this point, so it's been a little bit on the quiet side, to say the least. But if you haven't seen recently, over the past few weeks or so, there's been a lot of evergreen content. Hopefully that's going to change soon. I'm hoping. He says fingers crossed. There's more stuff hopefully coming on the way. I'm not sure what that is or what that looks like yet, but hopefully there's some more hardware coming on the way. But if you are part of the early access program, there is some very interesting software releases on the way. So if you have had a look at those, you'll know what's coming. But if you haven't had a look, then if you want to sign up to the EA stuff and have a look, you're more than welcome to do so. You don't necessarily have to install it. You can just read the release notes on the website. So we have, what have we had recently? So we have 10 ways to optimize your UniFi access point. Network 9.3, which came out about a month ago. Deployment tools. So if you're looking to plan or set up a deployment tool, this is something that's definitely supposed to be a good one to look at. So 7 free tools that you can use. Mesh versus wired networking. So you can see the difference between the two. 10 things to do on your UniFi setup when you first get set up. PPSK in 2025. I'm running over these very quickly. If you have any more details, do let me know. If you have any more questions, not details, I have the details, you don't. If you have any more questions about these individual videos, let me know and I'll try my best to answer them as best I can. And then obviously with everything going on in the UK at the moment, we have routing your traffic via a VPN. So if you want to change where you are located with your VPN, you can do that. So let's have a quick look. So those are some of the videos that have been released recently. I say recently, it's probably over the last month or so. But yeah, that's basically it. So Frederick mentions, what did Frederick say? The webinar this Thursday is on the G3 Talk VoIP by UniFi. It's scheduled to start at 11 a.m. CST. Will you be able to join us for that one? I'm hoping so. That's a little bit early. It's probably about 5 p.m. I think UK time. So I'm hoping that might be a little bit early. In fact, let me just bring up that window. So if I want to events.ui.com, let me just show everybody, making sure I have the right stuff on the screen. Oh, that's interesting. So it's interesting. I don't know what this is. So I meant to go to events.ui.com and I went to event.ui.com and it just says you're not authorized to view this page. So I don't know if that's something that's coming in the future or something that they use internally at Ubiquiti. I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely one to look at. Don't know what event.ui.com is. But anyway. Like virtual events, so yeah, the one that we had last week was planning and simulating deployments with the Unified Design Center. Unfortunately, I missed that one. I didn't get a chance to have a look at it, but I have covered the Unified Design Center in one of my videos. Not too much in details, but yeah, I have covered it a little bit. We have the Unified G3 talk. So yeah, as Frederick mentioned, we have this coming this Thursday. You can click on register, fill all this details in, and yeah, it's 11 a.m. CST. Just fill in your details and register, and they'll send you a link. Yeah, when you can view it, basically, they'll send you a link to it. Let's have a look. So, looking forward to your review of the SuperLink family when it releases. I think everyone is anticipating and waiting eagerly for the SuperLink stuff. It is, what are we? We're 17th of August at the moment, and we are, 2 weeks away? 2 weeks left of this month, roughly, give or take. Does it still say coming or shipping August? Does it still say that? Let's have a little look. Security. Jumping a bit back and forward here. But yeah, it still says shipping August 2025. You can't click on it. There's nothing in there. Yeah, shipping August 2025, and the fact that they mention the year is always a good thing, because there's comments that always come about, well, what year is it going to be, and is it going to be 2025, 2026? When is it going to happen? So yeah, I know a lot of people are waiting for this. We don't have any products sent to us yet. I don't know if it's going to be a sort of a side-by-side launch, whether they're going to start shipping and then send them to us, if they send them to us, or it's just going to be, here you go, these are launched, or they're going to give them to us beforehand for us to get a quick look at it and see what's going on and get some videos out for you eagle-eyed viewers out there. So yeah, that's definitely one I'm looking forward to as well. In terms of what platform, you're gonna have to wait and see, wait and find out. Get like 100 meg on a gig link. Have Wi-Fi 7 capable devices. So I'm just not reading this. And a UDM Pro. Home, not for enterprise. A lot of people generally are pushing towards the way of Wi-Fi 7. So you wouldn't be losing out by putting in Wi-Fi 7. I mean, if you're getting about 100 megabits per second, you're probably going to get a bit more on Wi-Fi 7. But it's really hard for me to give you that decision as to whether you want to do it or not. For me personally, I have a few, just like you, a few Wi-Fi 7 devices. I have a multi-gig. I can't get my words out today. I have a multi-gig connection, so I do get, some of the testing I've done, I do get over a gig in terms of Wi-Fi download speed. So if that's something you need, you can, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to go ahead and upgrade that. If you don't have a 10 gig capable network, probably not worth. I say it's probably not worth. I mean, you might want to look at getting the U7 Pro XG just for future proofing if you do ever upgrade to 10 gig. I can't see home networks needing to be 10 gig anytime soon, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? What are your plans for the UWC Miami? You are going, right? Yes, I will be there. So for those that will be attending UWC Miami in November, I will be there, hopefully. In terms of plans, I have a few friends coming along with me, so who have decided to come all the way from England for a one-day UniFi event. But we will be staying somewhere close by. There's no specific set plans as of yet, but yeah, who knows? Let's see what happens close to the time. It'll be good to meet a lot of you out there. I know I have a lot of viewers in the US, so depending on who's going, it'll be really good to meet some of you guys. Good evening, Mark. How are you doing? Superlink devices are supposed to release this month. Is that something you've seen that you've heard from Ubiquiti directly, Frederick? Or is that something that you heard on one of the webinars? Or how have you, or is it just from the website that you're picking that one up from? Can you run voice traffic over a UniFi wireless bridge? Good question. That's probably not something I have tried personally, but it's not something I would probably, I mean, voice is very picky in terms of the network and the QoS side of things. So I would probably say no at this point. I wouldn't recommend doing it. But if anybody else has done something like this, I mean, feel free to jump in and mention and say, yeah, basically mention anything in any direction. Sorry, I'm just distracted slightly. I'm just having a look at some of the other platforms to see what's happening, if anything is happening. Congrats, I saw a link to your free 7 tools video on the Ubiquiti community website this week. Oh, okay, interesting. Was that posted on the little featured page, or was somebody that actually posted it as a video? It's always good when you're when you do some videos and then you see some videos being popped up. Aha, it's in the featured video section. So so for those of you that haven't seen yet, this is the featured section on the UniFi community page. So you can see there's a whole bunch of featured videos here, and there's a couple of mine right there. But if you go through this, you'll see a whole bunch of different videos in here from from all the different creators among a whole bunch of different topics. So yeah, I'm just having a quick look to see. So there's things like the AI key, there's the license plate reader, there's the cloud gateway breakdown. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in here basically. So yeah, it's always good to get some extra traffic going towards your videos. So it's not something I'm going to complain about. Let's see. What outdoor UniFi AP would you recommend at a gate? Is this residential, commercial? I would probably push you. Outdoor APs. Let's have a look at what they have on their outdoor APs. My initial reaction would be looking at the U7 outdoor, but obviously that might be a bit overkill depending on how many clients you have there, what you're looking to connect. So I would ask a few other follow-up questions to that as to what you're actually going to be doing with that access point. It's always hard to give an answer when it's just, I need it for this, but there's always some follow-on questions. Maybe a Swiss Army knife might even be good enough for you, or even an AC mesh. So I probably need a little bit more information as to what you want to be able to do with that. Bizarre, hello, welcome to the stream. Any free training? I don't personally do training. I do consult if you need any help or install, but feel free to have a look at events.ui.com. There's a whole bunch of training on there. And if you're looking for something specific, there are a whole bunch of tutorials of us different creators on the internet who have, basically done some videos on different things. And if you're looking for something specific, let me know. And if there's something I don't have, maybe it's something I can incorporate in a future video. I currently have a UNVR with four 8TB Western Digital purples. We have 25 cameras, 6 4K, 19 2K. Okay. Question 1: can I add a new larger HDD over time? Just so I don't have to put up all the money at once. So replace one with a 24. Yes, you can. There's no reason why you can't. However, it will automatically bring down the size to 8TB. So if you have four 8TB drives and you put one 24TB in there, it will replace it, but it will also bring down the size to 8TB until you have replaced them all. Then it probably goes up. That's one thing you might want to keep in mind. It's not something I've tried, so I definitely don't want to say that you won't have to reconfigure your RAID, but I'm pretty sure, I think on the UNAS definitely you're able to make your hard drives bigger one at a time and then make it bigger overall if you want to do so. On the NVR, I can't say I've done it before, so not 100% sure on that. Do you think the Superlink will be out of stock when the sensors drop? That's a good question. It depends on it really depends on the number of devices they're gonna drop. I mean, if they just decide to send out a door sensor and maybe one other thing, then maybe not, because it might not be as desirable to a lot of people. But if they release the whole lineup, then likelihood is, yeah, they probably will get sold out pretty quickly. I'm hoping they have a decent level of stock, but yeah, who knows? Question 2. I'm getting close to maxing out my UNVR with cameras. It appears going to the UNVR Pro doesn't really gain you much, and it appears to be the same hardware as it is. I mean, with the UNVR Pro, you get the stacking capabilities, so you are able to stack, unless you really want to push the boat out, and then you can go for an eNVR. But again, it depends really how big you're going to be expanding your setup. Let's have, is it the same hardware inside? Let me just have a quick look. So we're going to do, sorry, I am aware you can't see this at the moment, but So if we bring this up, so this is techspecs.ui.com. So this is comparing the UNVR Pro on the left and the NVR on the right. So you get an extra 10 HD cameras, 5 2K cameras, and 24 versus 18, so 6 4K cameras. So you're right, yeah, you don't get a massive amount in terms of upgrades, in terms of the number of cameras, but I think it's more the drive space was the addition right here. Same hardware. You get a little bit more RAM, you get 8 gig as opposed to 4. So yeah, your next step up after this would be the eNVR. Now, like I said, with the NVR, you have the stackable option. I know there are some limitations with the NVR stackables, but I'm not quite sure what they are. I think one of them was you can't run Vantage Point, or it used to be the case. I don't know if that's, I remember reading that a little while ago, that you weren't able to, you weren't able to use Vantage Point. The other thing is, so with the eNVR, massive jump in terms of the number of cameras. You go from 18 to, you go from 18 all the way up to 70 4K cameras. It's also a massive jump in price, don't forget. Your rack mount goes slightly bigger, and yeah, you got 16 drive base supports. CPU is definitely an increase. It's an 8-core ARM processor as opposed to a quad-core, and then 32 gig of RAM. So those are your 3 options. Or you get yourself another NVR and you set half the cameras on one and half the cameras on another. That's probably your final option, I guess. So hopefully that kind of answers your question, hopefully. Bizarre says 100 megabits per second on Wi-Fi 5 is enough for 2.4 gigahertz. Definitely, if you have a bunch of IoT devices, that's definitely going to be enough for you. Looking forward to it. I can't remember what that was referring to. I'm assuming that was Miami, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And for some reason, my messages have stopped coming through again. I don't know why. But let me bring this up. This is why I don't like making updates right before a stream, because it doesn't do you any good. Right, let's close this. And let's go here. Let's refresh. Right, hopefully. See, I'm getting. Hold on. Right, I don't know what is going on with this at this point, so I'm going to do this. And as always, this is always fun when this happens. Okay. Okay, that's that one, and I think it's this one. So if I refresh this one. Right, that should hopefully be coming back, he says. Anyway, I think we're going to have to go the old school way of doing this a little bit. So let's pop this chat out. I didn't really want to do this way, but at the moment, I don't think I've got a choice. So let's go back to this way. Oh, actually, I think I did this last time, didn't I? Do I still have it? So if I do window capture, and if I do there we go. I'm hoping you can see that. It's probably blocked half my face already. But yeah, hopefully you can see that on that side. So you can see some of the chats coming in from the other side as well. Kind of covering half my face, but yeah. Anyway, let's see if we can get YouTube working in the background on this as well. So what did we see here? So let's have a look. Where did we get to? Superlink devices, Crunch. Here we go. JS Web Music. Happy Sunday. I'm going from Spain, so I hope to meet you there. Okay, fine. So I'm not the only one traveling from the other side of the world then. So there is someone coming from Spain as well, which is good. Swifty, hi. Would you say a UDM Pro Max and a 24 Pro Max for a home deployment would create too much noise in an office? To be fair, the UDM Pro Max is relatively quiet. It's more the drives that you probably need to worry about. The 24 Pro Max, it depends how much you're plugging into it. If you're plugging in a lot, then I would probably say, yeah, if you're plugging in a lot, I would probably say, what would I say? If you're plugging in a lot, then the fans are going to kick in. Are they going to be massively loud? Probably not. But if they are, then it's not something you're going to hear over a talking voice. So if you're happy, if you're talking away, you're probably not going to notice it too much. But if it's something that you're constantly in a quiet room, it's like having a computer sat next to you like I do here. Like I can hear my fans whirring a little bit, but you probably can't hear too much of that because of the voice that's coming through. So that's one thing I would probably say to that. I heard from the last webinar. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm assuming that's probably to a question earlier. I'm presuming that it's about regulatory hoops that they have to jump through as well as getting the device released. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this is the Superlink stuff you're talking about, Frederick. There is obviously they have to think about this throughout the whole world, right? So it's not just the US laws, the European laws, there's the UK laws, there's the rules in the Far East, there'll be Australia. Like there's so many different areas that they have to think about in terms of getting this set up that, yeah, it's not going to be something that's going to be easy for them. That's for sure. It wouldn't half surprise me if they staggered the rollout a little bit and then came to maybe the EU and North America and then rolled out to the rest of the world. Because that's what they tend to do sometimes. Love the crosstalk video with the UK Ultra integrated. Yeah, I saw that video a long time ago. That was definitely an interesting one. There's a lot of thought process gone into that one, that's for sure. Superlink will be out of stock before it's released. Well, at least you can't say it's not been released. Then I mean, they can literally flick a switch and just show it as out of stock. So that's something I can't see them doing. But hey, stranger things have happened, I guess. Powell, I think that is Powell. Hello, how's it going? If you could choose between one AI port, AI key, which would you choose and why? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, it's a good question, but it's quite I guess I would probably say a little bit of an easy question as well. If you have ONVIF cameras, AI port without a shadow of a doubt, because the AI key doesn't work with ONVIF, and if you were to use the AI key, or if I had a full UniFi camera setup, I would definitely do AI key because it does a lot more in terms of image reading. If it's a smart camera, you can, if it has smart detections, you can keep the license plate and face, but if it doesn't, then you can add the license plate and face detection as well. And I think that's like the G5 range that doesn't have it. So it does multiple things along with reading, obviously, the images and doing your scans, and then the next AI, and then the re-identification. So there's a lot that comes with the AI key. And I have a feeling that Ubiquiti aren't done with the AI key just yet. I think there's going to be a lot more being added to it that's let on so far. I think they're just scratching the surface, which is why I probably think it's not in stock yet. This is just obviously me being very opinionated, I guess would be the right word, and making a very big assumption. I think they've sort of put them out there in the market, they're getting the feedback, and now they're going to start doing the implementation of adding more and more to it. So yeah, that's my thoughts anyway. Where did we get to? Kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah. Okay, I think everything else has started to come through now, so I don't think. Hey TJ, how you doing? Actually, Ubiquiti is saying not to use stacking feature going forward, but to use the vantage point instead. Okay, interesting. So to keep the two UNVRs separate. That's interesting. I think they must be looking to make some sort of HA high availability on the UNVRs, because I think that's something that doesn't quite exist just yet is HA. I know that's very enterprise and a very niche thing. Probably not so niche than I thought it might be, but yeah, that's something that that's something that I think they definitely need to explore. And I think I missed this last comment here, which was the professor. Hey, how you doing? And I'm hoping I can hide this for now, because we have the stuff coming back through now, which is good. I'm going to be sure not to make any more changes before the stream in the future, because it doesn't seem to go down very well. So what do we have here? Any point-to-point links that can be monitored, controlled with UniFi. I don't think they specifically control with UniFi. There are some point-to-points, but I think they kind of have their own separate app. It's been a little while since I've done a point-to-point, and the last time I did was the nano beams. That's the last time I did a point-to-point. But actually, tell a lie, you can use the UDB Pro. That's one point, and you can point that to a Wi-Fi 7 access point. I've not used the building bridges, so I realise you can't see this. So I've not used any of the building bridges. If anybody can shed any light if that uses the UniFi app, I don't think it does. But I've used the Device Bridge Pro, and I have a video on that. You can go and check that out on my channel, and shows you how to use that. Getting it set up so you can use two Device Bridge Pros, or you can use a Device Bridge Pro to a Wi-Fi access point. Entirely up to you. But that's quite a cool little device that they have there. Where were we? I keep going to the wrong one. There we go. Why do you have your camera setting up like it looks like it's AI? Okay, not sure it's AI, but anyway, we'll move on. Got Frygate on an NVR setup. Okay, cool. Any recommendations for Wi-Fi 7 PoE access points? So Wi-Fi 7 PoE access points, I did a full video on this, and I will keep plugging this one away because it took me a long time to put this one together, and it's always a good video to have, I think. I did a full video comparing all the Wi-Fi 7 APs, other than a couple of the enterprise ones. So I didn't do, which ones did I not do? I didn't do the audience, the E7 audience, and the E7 campus, just purely because of the amount that, for most use cases, actually no, at that point it wasn't available yet, so I couldn't. I'm going to try and send this through this. I don't know how this works, whether it works or it's going to go through to all the platforms. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's restore the chat there. And where are we? So we are, how many of us are on here? 16 likes, and there are 30 people on here. So let's get that ratio a little bit higher. So hit that like button if you are around. And it will help me out anyway, in some way. But yeah, in terms of recommendation of Wi-Fi 7 access points, I would probably say, what would I say? Your standards are going to be the U7 Pro, U7 Pro Max. That's generally the flagship ones. Depending if you're looking for 6 gigahertz or not, you might want to look at the U7 Lite or the U7 LR. Those are two other options. Or if you really want something that's going to not be an overkill, but to be quite, in fact, I wouldn't even say overkill. You can look at the E7, but I think your sweet spot is probably going to be around the U7 Pro, Pro Max, or the XG XGS. Those are going to be, I think, your sweet spots that you're going to probably want to look at. It's closer than Sydney and cheaper. Yeah, definitely. It definitely is cheaper than flying to. That really will be the other side of the world if you were going to Sydney. Although, if Ubiquiti were happy to fly me out there, I wouldn't say no. But I don't think they will. But they look at the laws and wish they hadn't bought it. Yeah, probably. I think some guy in legal is probably looking at this and being like, why do we bother doing this? But yeah, who knows? Maybe the share price can reflect this in the future, and then it will show them why they did this. Hello, Geekor. How you doing? Oh, wrong one. I think we're this one. What ports do you use to attach fiber to multiple routers? What ports do you attach? What ports do you use to attach fiber to multiple routers? I don't think Ubiquiti have anything in terms of... Well, I mean, you can use your aggregation switch, right? So you can use the aggregation switch to... You don't have to set it on the other side of the LAN. Of the WAN, you can set it on the other side. And you can plug all your fiber connections into there. The only thing is you wouldn't be able to adopt it into the UniFi setup. So the VLAN configuration would be... You wouldn't be able to set the VLAN configuration. So it's almost like a bit of a... I wouldn't say a dumb switch, but it is an unmanaged switch almost on the other side. So that's one thing I would say. But I don't think Ubiquiti have anything else specific to be able to attach fiber to multiple routers. Unless you're doing a massive deployment, I would probably ask why you were looking to attach to multiple routers. Unless you're doing a lot of, I guess, routing. PoE switch or PoE injector? That's a good one. If you can afford to get the PoE switch, I would definitely say PoE switch. Injectors, they do the job, but they're a little bit bulky. So if you have the space and you think it's a little bit more cost effective, there's nothing wrong with using an injector, especially if it does the right throughput that you need. Then if it does the 100 meg or 1 gig or 2.5 gig, there's nothing wrong with using injectors. Where are we? Here we go. I know that North America has a lot more regulations on smoke detectors, and there are only a couple of smart ones available in the US as an example. Yeah, I think there's quite a few out here in the UK in terms of smart ones. I mean, Nest is obviously the biggest one, or one of the bigger ones. I actually, you know what, it's been a little while since I've looked at smoke alarms, so I don't actually know. I say this, I've not actually seen how many are out here, but I know when I was looking there was quite a few. Yeah, there's quite a few smart smoke detectors, but they yeah. The G6 PTZ track motion is fine. However, when it stops detection, it reverts home too quickly, like 5 seconds. I increased the time to 10 seconds, but all that did was increase it on the timeline. Any suggestions? So I noticed this as well when I was doing my review. If you looked at my review, you probably saw that happening to me. I don't have any suggestions at this point because it's still happening to me, but maybe feed it back to Ubiquiti and see if there is. I'm sure they are aware of it, so there's probably something. There's probably something in the works, but definitely the more noise we make on stuff like this, they will look to fix it. But I don't have any suggestions. Sorry, no. There are more smart smoke detectors available in the EU. Yeah, so I kind of I should have just read your message rather than going off and Googling it, I guess. PoE switch if you have the budget. If budget, then use PoE adapter. Again, I think I don't need to answer the questions. You guys are doing it for me. That was the adding on. PoE switch is expensive compared to a PoE injection and Pro Max. Yeah, I mean you're not missing out on anything. You can still do everything on your switch that you would on a non-PoE version versus a PoE version. You just have your power behind the port. So rather than running, it's still a single cable, I guess, as long as you have the space for the PoE injectors. Like I said, I have someone that I've seen that printed a 1U or 2U rack mount, which had all the PoE injectors in them. So you can 3D print something like that if that's something that you want to do. We need an AI key and UNVR combo, please. I can't answer this question. I don't know if it's coming or not, but yeah. Who knows? Maybe your wish may come true in the future, but I can't say anything on this. They did talk about this specific thing in the UWC, but I can't tell you which way it went. How many chats does... So I only need one chat to make that very clear, but because I stream across multiple platforms, it's a little bit difficult for me to have 4 different chat windows. Not that the other streaming platforms are busy like YouTube, like I shouldn't say the platform like this one, but it's one of those things that I kind of tried to keep it all in one place. But the software that I'm using it can be a bit buggy. It's a really good piece of software, but it's a bit of a pain in the backside sometimes. So sometimes it breaks, and then I stick one up on the side next to me here, and I have this one running. So yeah, that's how many chat windows I need. Yes, but if you're using 24 PoE injectors, I can expect it to get expensive really quickly. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the case. You can add as you wish, though. You don't have to necessarily keep all 24 PoE injectors, but you hardly have 7 devices. Yeah, I mean, you might want to look at it. It might be more cost effective for you. One second, bear with me. I just want to check one thing. Okay, so what's the next one? So they said in the webinar that if you'd like to use the stacking feature, then certain options would not be available, but would be under Vantage Point. Yeah, so this is the bit that I wasn't sure of what some of the features were that are not going to be available. I don't have a stackable UNVR, so yeah, it's not something I could test out, unfortunately, at this point. But who knows? If I get enough UNVRs in the future, if there are any new ones being sent to me, then yeah, it's something I can try and look at doing, if it's an option at that point. I'm moving into a new house. Are Ubiquiti cameras comparable with Hikvision or Dahua, or however you pronounce that? Dahua, yeah. Anyway, it depends who you ask, and it depends what features you want. I mean, are they comparable? Yes, they probably are. In some of their models, they're definitely comparable. In terms of price, sometimes the Ubiquiti cameras can be a little bit more pricey, but also it can be the other way around as well. In terms of the user interface and how easy they are to use, Ubiquiti, it's hands down all day long. You're going to enjoy the interface a lot more. It's a lot more user friendly. It's easier to use. And yeah, when I look at the Hikvision, interface, it just annoys me. I still have a few Hikvision cameras left, which I am going to be changing soon. I have a video coming out on that. I want to say next week, but it might be in the next few weeks, of me changing out my Hikvision cameras for the number of different cameras that Ubiquiti have sent me that I have. So we're going to be changing those out. But definitely, hands down, I would, if you can stay within if you're happy with the quality of the Ubiquiti cameras, I would definitely stay within that ecosystem. UBB and UBB Pro are UniFi managed, not UISP. Thank you for answering that one. It's not like I've not played around with those products yet, so I couldn't answer that. What do we have here? Also, can we use Synology or third-party NVRs with UniFi cameras and record? No. So you can record third-party cameras onto UniFi Protect, unless I've read this wrong. So you can do it using ONVIF, but it's not something that you can do the other way around. So you can't use Ubiquiti cameras to record on a Synology or some other third-party NVR. It's not possible. Save the money and just get a standard Pro or standard 24. I've seen the Enterprise 24 go down in price, and it was practically the same as the Pro Max, but without the ether lighting. Yeah, but TJ, the ether lighting is very important to a lot of people, including me. So yeah, ether lighting is where you want to be. No, I'm just joking. It really depends on whether that's going to be important to you or not. Has anybody used the camera compact junction box with a conduit in the UK? And if so, what size conduit do you use? So I don't have a compact junction box, but I have the regular size one, which I'm going to be installing soon. But yeah, I haven't actually installed it yet, so I don't know what size trunking it works with, or conduit, should I say. I would recommend Ruckus access points. I've not really used Ruckus, but I did see a video that Tom did a little while back, Tom Lawrence, on the Ruckus stuff about not getting updates. So I don't know if that's still the case. They might have resolved that issue. But yeah, that's something that kind of raised some red flags in my mind. Can you use OneView cameras in the UniFi ecosystem? Yeah, as long as the camera supports OMVIF, I believe that it should be compatible with the Ubiquiti cameras. I have read some stuff online that sometimes the cameras are not compatible, so I would probably do a quick Google of the model number and see if someone else has tried it. Could I get your general perspective on the Ubiquiti Ubiquiti inventory situation? I've noticed that some of their products seem to sell out very quickly. So if you're, I guess if you're new to the Ubiquiti range, it does happen sometimes. And a few years back, they were in not bad shape, but especially when COVID kicked in, they were really struggling with stock. But I mean, recently they're getting a lot better than what they used to be. You can get 90% of their products, 95% of their products on their store without an issue. But it just seems to be when there's something new, there is a lot that comes. A lot of people want it yesterday, and there are a lot of integrators and a lot of people that roll this out for companies, and they tend to buy it for their clients. So it's like a one-stop shop. Everybody is trying to buy it from Ubiquiti directly until the stuff filters down through their channels and through their distribution partners. But obviously Ubiquiti get the first hand and then they ship everything out. How do you determine where to place your AP in a 4-story house? Oof. 4-story house. That would be a tough one. So I almost would want to say 1 per floor, but I almost think that's a bit overkill. I would definitely go on, depending on how, I guess it depends on how compact your house is. Maybe you would want to go front and back. Maybe you want to go front and back on alternate floors. So front of the house on one, back of the house on another, front of the house on one, back of the house on the other. If you did go 1 per floor, don't just stagger them underneath. Don't just put them underneath one or another. Yeah, let me just reword that. It'll probably be a little bit better. Don't just stack them on top of each other. So if you're doing it in a stairwell, don't do them one on top of another, because yeah, it's just not going to end well. But I would probably start with 2 on the second or first floor and the third floor, and then see how you get on from there. Actually, no, you probably want to go to the 4th floor. So you probably want to go with the top floor and then the middle floor, and then see how you get on with your Wi-Fi range. And use the tools that are available. So like Wi-Fi Man, you can use that just to see what sort of signal you're getting in different areas. And yeah, give that a go. It's a little bit hard to, obviously, there's too many variables to just say this is how many you need in a 4-story house. Depends on the thickness of your walls. It depends how big your house is. If it's absolutely massive, you may need 1 per floor. You may need 2 per floor. Yeah. There's too many variables to be able to just answer that. Stock dropped to $402 this week. Ooh, that was I'm guessing they had their results this week, their stock earnings this week, or their quarterly report, should I say. So they haven't really released too much in the last month, so I'm guessing sales have not dipped a little bit, but well, actually I've just googled it. UIC's a 5% decline over the past month. That could be because of the stuff that's going on with all the tariffs, it's finally starting to see sorry, I'm just reading one of the comments saying, can I see a product behind you? I know there's not a product behind me, but I'm just checking just in case. Anyway, I'll come back to that one. That could be because they're seeing the impact of all the tariffs that happened, and I think you'll probably see that in the next couple of quarters. So, yeah. But I mean, if you look at their 12-week or 52-week high and low, it's a massive swing. So whoever got in quite low, you're very lucky because you've definitely made it on this one. Are there more smart devices IoT from Ubiquiti coming? So they're going into the alarm space and the sensor space that you can see. How much more they're going to dive deeper into that? A long time ago, I'm probably talking 3 years, they had something around, what do they have? So they had a smart lock. Now, whether they continue to explore that again, maybe they're just like the Pro AV, just like the AV line, they're sort of teased one product. They're like, here you go. Let's see how that goes. Now they've given another one, and maybe they'll slowly keep expanding it. So I wouldn't say never. So I'm hoping they do expand a little bit further. And I know a lot of people are going to want to see Matter support on there and be able to add it into Home Assistant anyway. Careful with the non-PoE switches. They tend to have an SFP instead of SFP plus. Yeah, good note there. Guess you're new here. Welcome to Ubiquiti. Yeah, it's I think it's a running joke with the Ubiquiti stuff. You can use use Can Home UniFi Wi-Fi 7. Use Can Home. I'm assuming that you're asking, can you use UniFi Wi-Fi 7 in a home? Yes, you can. They all go to the YouTubers first. I wouldn't say always. Sometimes, not always. But all of them definitely don't come to us. I can assure you that. We only get one sample product. So, yeah. If that's all of their stock, then I think we have a bit of a problem. We definitely need to speak to their supply line then. Anyway, where were we? Is that an unreleased? Is that an unreleased Ubiquiti product on the desk behind you? No, unfortunately, there isn't an unreleased product because I don't have any at the moment. Yeah, I just have a whole bunch of stuff that got sent to me last week, which was a couple of gateways and the AI PTZ. So hopefully going to be installing that in a video soon for a client. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And yes, you did get me because I did have a look, but I did know that there isn't anything there. One thing I did was run a temporary Ethernet cable to the top of the ladder with an access point and use Wi-Fi management. Yeah, so I actually saw something on, I don't know if it was your post, Frederick, or if you did post. I think I saw something on Reddit. This guy made his own sort of stand, stuck a Wi-Fi access point on top, and then used Wi-Fi Man to see how well the signal traverses through. Then made permanent installs after you found the sweet spots. Yeah, it's a good idea, Frederick. Definitely a good idea. Reddit leaked a new smart screen that had an option for smart lights. Why have I not seen this article? Do you wanna send that in the chat, TJ? I want to have a look at that. Yeah. So where are we? Thanks. Please explain a layer 3 switch for a dummy like me. Okay, layer 3 switching. How do we explain that? So if you've ever seen any networking videos, I don't know if anybody's ever seen, I watched these a long time ago. I don't know if anybody's ever seen CBT Nuggets. Jeremy, he used to do some sessions on there. He has his own YouTube channel now. But I think it's quite a common thing. There's 7 layers of networking. Let me bring up the OSI model. Oh, this is bringing me back some memories. But there are 7 layers of networking, and I'm hoping that's going to come through. So the 7 layers are the physical layer, the data link layer, and the network layer. So your physical layer is, as it says, your cable. Your data link layer is your layer 2, which is basically working off MAC addresses. And then your layer 3 is your IP address space. And hopefully I haven't made a complete fool of myself, because that's all I remember. But layer 3 is the IP space that you then route your traffic across. So sometimes you'll find that if it's a layer 2 switching, they'll be talking across the MAC address range. And then when it's layer 3, you start moving into the IP range. If I do a quick Google of... let me see if I can find a good example of this. So it's kind of like routing your traffic across different VLANs, basically. But I'm trying to see if I can find a good image to show you. I don't know if this is... I guess I can try and explain it with this. So layer 3 switching this is basically it. So layer 2, you'll see it's on the same broadcast domain or the same VLAN, and you'll be talking across there. And then layer 3, sort of the traffic goes back to the layer 3 switch and then goes to another, how do I word this? Yeah, it just basically layers it off and routes it to another IP address range. So you have to think about it when you're routing between different VLANs. You're going to be going across a layer 3 switch. It goes back to the router, routes it to another domain, and goes the other way. So there is no really easy, quick 5-second way to explain this without diving into the deeper and deep understanding of networks and understanding how it all works and how it all links together. But yeah, it's kind of... I mean, I can send you this, differences between layer 2 and layer 3. And yeah, here. So this is the main one, right? So the routing function. So layer 2, you're limited or no routing functions between the networks, but layer 3 is routing between different network segments. Inter VLAN, extra VLAN communication. So that's going within... you'll find if you're in the same address range, most of your things will probably talk across the layer 2 range. I hope that kind of explained it a little bit, but I think I just did a very bad job of explaining to you the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switching. Or layer 2 and layer 3 from the OSI model, not switching. But anyway. So at TJ, Ubiquiti had a video a while back showing a smart thermostat and smart LED ceiling lights. However, none of these have been released. I don't think I've ever seen... I feel like I've been under a rock. I don't think I've seen the smart thermostat or the LED ceiling lights. I remember they used to do them a long time ago, which was PoE lights. I know Ubiquiti used to do that a long time ago, but let's have a look. UniFi LED... There were the UniFi LED panels. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know if people remember this sort of stuff. But this was UniFi LED. So they used to have network managed LED panels and dimmer switches, which was yeah, very interesting. So I think they sort of stopped doing this before I actually managed to start doing videos. But yeah, they used to have LED panels, which was interesting. So I think that I want to say that I would like to see them move into this space, but yeah, who knows? I would only be purely speculating at this point. Any news on the EV chargers? What news are you looking for? I know they have 2 available. I can't say I've tested them before, but I think some of them are out of stock, I believe, right? I think I read something about that the other day. Yeah, so the Pro is out of stock. I don't know how long it's been out of stock for. Definitely in the US anyway. And it's out of stock. Yeah, it's out of stock in the US. I don't think they sell it. Do they sell it in the EU? EU integrations. No, they don't. They don't sell it in the EU store. So I don't have any news on the EV chargers, unfortunately. I'd like to see them move a little bit further into that space, but who knows? A layer 3 switch can do VLAN routing by itself instead of sending it to the router. There you go. AS Networking has done it in one sentence that took me about 5 minutes of fumbling through. Thank you very much for the message. In big networks, you let layer 3 do the internal routing, so your router can take and do the IPS and IDS traffic ID, etc. This video was after that. It was about the UI identity where the actor was using their phone to... Okay, interesting. I will have to take a look at that. I don't think... I must have missed that one. Let's have a quick look. Let's see if I can find it. I think... yeah, actually... Let's see. So it was one of the Meet UniFi ones, right? So the last one, it was the one about UniFi identity. Let's have a look. No, I'll take a look after. I'm not gonna go through this now. Otherwise, you guys would just be watching me just searching Ubiquiti's page, and I'm sure you don't want to see. You don't want to see that. Oh, okay. It was 2 years ago. Fine. Do you mainly consult on deployments, or do you do installations, run cables, install rack setup gear, etc.? So I don't really do so much of the running cables. I can rack and stack. That's no problem. Or I can, as long as the cables have been running, I'm happy to come and terminate and do all the rest of that part. I don't really do. I'm not equipped or ready to be set up to do all the cable running yet. So happy to set up gear. I can do that on site or remotely. So if you need something set up, I can either come to you, or I can do it. Yeah, I can do it remotely. You can get in touch with me. My email is on my YouTube page, or you can go to my website, which is insidewire.co.uk, and there's a form on there that you can fill in to get in touch. So yeah, I kind of everything apart from running cabling. I give my hats off to people that run cabling, because it is a graft, and it's a big one. So it was on. So this was okay right after UniFi Identity came out. Okay, so I have to scroll back and find out when UniFi Identity came out. About 2 years, 2 years, recording privacy site, magic, hardware as a service, simply IT powerful, you insider. That was a year ago. I'll have to have a look, see if I can find it. I'm not gonna waste everyone's time going through it and trying to figure it out. But as always, you guys have been an absolute pleasure to talk with week in, week out. We are at the hour mark, so I will probably spend another few more minutes in here. So get your questions in. As always, I will be hopefully releasing some videos this week. I don't exactly know what they are yet, but I will be releasing some videos this week. because I know I didn't do anything last week, so I've been slacking about a little bit. Well, I say slacking about. I've been doing the groundwork for getting my air conditioning installed. So that is hopefully coming next week. So when the summer's over, which is typical. But I'm ready for next year when the heat wave comes for 3 days. I don't have to sit in a sauna while I'm talking to you online. But if the software releases that are in early access, if they decide to make an appearance this week, I probably might do a live stream that evening. If that's something that you're interested in seeing, let me know. I'm happy to come online and have a quick discussion about the latest and greatest in terms of the software or even hardware. That's probably something I will try and do depending on what day of the week it is. When there is something new that comes out, we'll just jump online for half an hour, just have a quick chat, and we can talk about it in a little bit more detail. So it'll probably be around about the same time, but sometimes it might be during the week, sometimes it might be the weekend. But yeah, let's see. Sundays is the general day at the moment. Although last time when I did a Monday, I did get more people in. But yeah, anyway. Okay, cool. Thank you, Frederick. And definitely, before you leave this evening, do hit the like button. There's 31 of you at this point with 21 likes. So let's see if we can get that a little bit higher. Let's have a look. There's a couple more here. A couple more questions. Wi-Fi networks. Wi-Fi network is good for 2-story home or too much? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people deploy this stuff in their house, so it's definitely good for a 2-story home. I have a 2-story home, and it works perfectly fine in mine. I have 2 access points set up, and it pretty much covers most of the area. I do actually need to, so I have some Shelly devices that I've put into my garage, but probably slight tangent. But there isn't, the Wi-Fi signal is not strong enough inside the garage, so I actually need to deploy another AP inside the garage so my Shelly devices can connect to the IoT network properly. And then I have a U7 outdoor that I need to deploy into the garden for those 3 days that I'm in the garden. I want to add an SSD or an M2 to my Cloud Gateway Fiber for better log retention. What about Samsung Evo Plus? So I'm not a big SSD person. I'm not a big storage person. I can probably point you in the right direction. But in terms of giving you that low-level advice, there are other people better suited out there, definitely. The Samsung will definitely do a job. The 990 Evo, I think it's the latest and greatest. When I opened up my Cloud Gateway Max, it was a Kingston SSD in there, if that helps you in any way, shape or form. But I'm sure, no doubt, definitely just for log retention, the Samsung is going to do the job. I don't think there are any limitations as such in terms of the SSDs or the M2 SSDs that you can put in the Cloud Gateway Fiber. I hope that kind of answers your question. But yeah, I don't think you're going to have any issues adding that one in. Right, well, I think, and I hope that kind of covers everything that we were going to chat about this evening. Not that I had anything planned, but I hope it was enjoyable for you guys. It was definitely enjoyable for me. Oh, Vasso, you caught me just in time. I got the 4TB Samsung Evo on Prime Day. I'm yet to replace it with the 512 Kingston that's in the UCG Max. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have any issues using a Samsung Evo. They're fairly good SSDs, so yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problems as such. But yeah, it's definitely been a pleasure. Hopefully I will, yeah, like I said, there'll be some sort of videos coming out this week. I don't know what yet entirely. I'll look at my ideas board and see what we can come out with. I have a red that the WD Blue or WD Black have some issues running on the UCG. Okay, that would be, I guess then, William, my suggestion to you would be to maybe just do a quick Google search Do a quick Google search and see what you can find if anybody's used it or not, or even just post in the forums. Everyone's really good, so definitely post into the forums and yeah, have a quick chat in there, and people will point you in the right direction anyway. Last question. I'm closing up the questions now. Would you buy an AI port just for the G4 Doorbell Pro? Depends how important those AI detections are for you. If it's something that's quite critical for you, then yeah, I don't see why not. I would probably add the AI port for the G4 Doorbell, but it just depends on, again, how important those AI detections are for you. If they're critical or they're quite important for you, then definitely I would add it. If you're happy with just motion and person and vehicle detection, then you can leave it as it is. And hopefully that answers all your questions. And as Frederick mentioned, so see you later. It was good speaking to you all, and I will see you in the next one.